Hey, how's it going, everyone? So I want to talk to you guys about dragon fruit, Heliocereus. Its original name in Spanish is pitahaya. Not to be confused with pitaya, but there's some countries that want to call it pitaya. But I'm Mexican, and in Mexico they're called pitahaya. There's an H in there, and pitayas are referred to a fruit from Stenocereus. Anyways, so I'm gonna talk about dragon fruit and inducing buds. So it's kind of I should have been getting buds, but I didn't fertilize with a budding fertilizer, which is recommended too. It's just, you could just use anything that has high phosphorus. um, Dr. Earth's Bud and Bloom. There's a Growmore makes one that's made for plumerias. That's a Hawaiian one. There's a bunch of them. Just use something that has high phosphorus, and you don't have to use a full strength. A little goes a long way, but that helps to induce budding. But what also helps a lot is cutting the tips, like this, like I did here. So this is just called tipping. You're cutting off the tips, which you're cutting off the grow point, and you're trying to avoid this. You see this new growth here? So what I do at this time of year when I'm trying to get buds so I could get flowers and then get fruit is I'll cut these off. Any new growth, not only new growth, any tip I see, like this one, you could just use your fingers too to twist them off, but yeah, it's a little easier if you just use some shears. So look, I'm just gonna tip the very tip. So what this does, like I did here, what this does is this stops it from growing out, because you're damaging the apex, which is right here on the plant. So it's going to be forced to have growth on the other areas near it or on the same branch. And this time of year, since it's budding, it's like time for them to bud. Instead of the growth being a new arm or a new stem, it could be, and most likely will be, new buds. So that's the point. That's the goal and the outcome of tipping your dragon fruit plants. So I go around and tip whatever I see that needs tipping, like this one. You see this one here? And like I said, let me take off this glove. I don't need a glove. So you could see this one here, and you could just tip it. But sometimes, you could just twist them off like this. You break it off. You break a piece off. And if you do use a shear, which I like to use, these are really cheap ones. I couldn't find my good one. I need to go get a new one. I spray them with alcohol between plants. You don't want to spread. If any of them have any kind of disease or something, or a virus, you don't want to pass them on. So between plants, I go between pots. So before I use alcohol again, I'll tip everything that's growing on this trellis out of this pot. Sometimes I have 3 or 4 varieties per pot. So if they're already intertangled, like this one, this has an Ocamponis variety, which is from Mexico, which has some really long spines. Let me show you the spines here. See this? And then here I have Purple Haze, which, you could tell, look side by side, it's totally different. So yeah, I'm gonna go around tipping, showing you guys. See this right here, this tip's gotta go. There's one over here. Here, I'm just gonna reach out and tip it like that. Yeah, but it's as simple as that. So this really helps with developing buds. I did actually tip. You can see that I tipped my Connie Mayer, and I have a lot of buds coming out through the on that plant. But yeah, let me go around and tip some more. So let me tip this corner here. See this guy here? I want to tip him. Tip this one here. This is a new growth, but I'm still gonna tip it. And like I said, when it's tender like this, you see, you could just twist them off. Gotta bend them off, but yeah, I like using the shears. So I'm gonna go around. I'm tipping everything. You see up here, these guys. Look at this. Tip these guys. Look at this. You see this? Look. Put my hand behind it. See this? Tip them. And this, like I said, this works like a charm. You tip these guys, and you'll start to see fruit fairly fast. Well, hopefully. And that, in combination with a budding fertilizer, something with high phosphorus, so you'll get fruit. You'll get a good amount of fruit. You'll get a good amount of buds. I have an American Beauty here. Yeah, let me start tipping this guy. I don't know how good the lighting is. I have a lot of glare on my phone. Can't really see. See, like, this is what you want to avoid. You see this new growth here? So if you don't tip, you know, they may continue growing like this instead of you getting buds. So, you know, cut these guys off. Cut all these guys off. Tip all of these. All of these getting tipped. Oh, there's more over here. Tip that one. This one. And I will go around and tip every single tip I see. One thing that could happen is, you know, let's say you only tip a few, then the other tips may want to grow. And yeah, let's tip all these guys. So I got most of these. Yeah, I think I got them all. This one. I'm not huge on Pelora, but I have a fruit here, and I've been lagging on cutting it. But I think I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it today. So when they're ripe, you know, the spines come right off, just like pitayas. I'll harvest that later. That's from last season. Okay, so I'm using my alcohol here. Oh, I tipped my Frankie's Red earlier, and I see a good tip here, which need to prune off. Okay, this one here is Sugar Dragon. Tip this guy. Every tip I see is going. Oh, what's going on with this one? Tip it too. So yeah, I guess I don't have to have you through the whole video, or I'm gonna go around and prune and tip all my dragon fruit plants. But one last example. If I get a clean shot here, this right here. You see, this is like new growth. I'm just gonna tip it right here. You see it? Look, here it is, new growth. So cut the tip. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go around and finish tipping all my dragon fruit plants. I have many throughout the house, the property here. Anyways, guys, if you have dragon fruit and you are not getting buds, and they're already this big, like they reached their umbrella, they're doing the canopy, which is what they call it if you build these kind of trellises and they hang over, they call it like the canopying or canopy or an umbrella. Once they're this big and they're doing this, and if they're not producing buds, high phosphorus fertilizer and tip. Just so you know, I have this flower over here. Okay, just so you know, I have some fertilizer here so you could see. So in the fertilizers, I mean, it'll tell you that it's a budding fertilizer. See, like this one is a bud and bloom. This one's kind of crazy. It has 50 phosphorus. So you want to look at the NPK, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium or potash. And nitrogen is, so your plants could just grow green, the vegetal. But you don't want that during the budding season. You want this number to be higher than both of these, and this is the phosphorus. So that's why it tells you, I mean, this is a bud and bloom fertilizer. They use this a lot for plumerias. This one's by Growmore. It's pretty cheap. It's like 15 bucks or less. You could find it at many nursery stores, Amazon. This is by Growmore. That's a company. They make a lot of fertilizers and good fertilizers. Anyways, guys, and I don't use this full strength. I dilute it maybe halfway. And when I water my dragon fruit plants, I like to totally soak them in the evening, because they are a cactus, so they absorb their water mostly in the night. So I water in the evening. I'll soak them, and then I'll add some fertilizer with some water, and I'll add it in there. And you want to make sure you soak your plants, especially if there's any kind of peat. Peat could become really like water repellent. That they hydrophobic. They won't want to absorb water. And you'll notice that if you water your plants after they've been in a pot for maybe a year or more, if there's peat in the mix and you water your plant, you'll see the water just staying on top for a little while. And usually, like what would happen is the water will go down the sides, and it won't go down and drench the whole plant. So you want to go ahead and water your plant, drench it, and then go and water some other plants, and then come back and drench it again. What I do is I'll drench it, then I'll come back and I'll add my fertilizer. I'll make a little concoction, a little like a compost tea, and I'll add budding fertilizer, and then I'll add that to my pots. Anyways, guys, happy growing. I am getting some buds, but see, like this one has two flowers that open, and that's it. Yeah, I should have like 16 at least, So I'm gonna go, and the thing is, I haven't tipped these, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Anyways, guys, happy growing. Cheers.